Abuja reassured the public that past mistakes such as neglecting livestock farming and relying on dairy import will be avoided. He pledged to robusting the framework to stimulate prosperity in the sector, instilling confidence in its commitment. The President, who opened a two-day consultative workshop on livestock reform on Thursday at State House Conference Center, pledged government support in revamping and repositioning the sector to create employment and attract foreign direct investment (FDI). President Tinubu commended the Presidential Livestock Reform Implementation Committee, led by the co-chairman Professor Atairu Jaga and Secretary Professor Mohammed Yahya Kuta, for their commitment to repositioning the livestock sector.
From reform to realization of our dream and ambition, I stand before you fully committed to this. Investors, foreign investors, are already asking questions. How will we collaborate? The committee and the ministry and I will do everything possible to attract them.
Chairman of NGF Abdurrahman Abdurrazak assured of the 100% buy-in of the subnational to make the reform a success because it is not just food security but national security. Abdurrazak thanked President Tinubu for leading the initiative by charging the implementation committee, regretting that past errors in the same direction were reduced to files in the ministries of agriculture in state and local council due to lack of political will.
To address you today on this landmark consultative stakeholders workshop on the livestock reforms in Nigeria, to appreciate the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his bold actions, exemplary leadership, and unparalleled commitment to driving sustainable development across all sectors of the Nigeria's economy, particularly in agriculture and especially in the livestock sector.
I want also this opportunity of these livestock reforms will go a long way to bring about prosperity to the people while encouraging peace and security, particularly food security, qualitative food security that can go to our people.
Conducted the National Conference of Livestock Reform that gave birth to a report that an implementation committee was appointed by Mr. President, and this is the outcome of the implementation committee. A ministry has been created, Ministry of Livestock Development, so you can see the opportunities now.
The objective is to, within the two-day period of the workshop, obtain the additional input to the reform process and the buy-in from a range of critical stakeholders drawn from the Nigerian livestock value chains and the ecosystem.
President Bola Tinubu has restricted ministers of state and heads of agencies of the federal government to a maximum of 3 vehicles in the official convoys. No additional vehicles will be assigned to them for movement. Bayo Enodunga, Special Advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, in a statement on Thursday, said the cost-cutting measure was announced in a statement signed by the President. In January this year, President Tinubu took significant steps to reduce government expenditure by reducing his entourage and foreign troops from 50 to 20 officials. For local troops, he reduced it to 25 officials. He similarly reduced the Vice President's entourage to 5 officials on foreign troops and 15 for local troops. In the directive issued, President Tinubu also ordered all ministers of state and head of agencies to have at most 5 security personnel attached to them. The security team will comprise 4 police officers and 1 Department of State Services DSS officer. No additional security personnel will be assigned, he added. The Senate on Thursday received requests from President Bola Tinubu for confirmation of appointment of 7 ministerial nominees announced in Abuja on Wednesday. President Tinubu's request was contained in a letter addressed to the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and read at the beginning of plenary on Thursday. The ministerial nominees as contained in the letter are Dr. Nentawe Yuwada, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Muhammadu Megari Dingyadi, Minister of Labour and Employment, and Bianca Odinaka Odumegu Ojuko, Minister of State Foreign Affairs. Others are Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, Minister of Industry, Trade and Development, Idi Mokutamai, Minister of Livestock Development, Right Honorable Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, Minister of State Housing, and Dr. Shuaiba Zaid Ahmed, Minister of State Education. President Tinubu in the letter sought for expeditious consideration of his request by the Senate. Accordingly, as announced by Akpabio, the Senate referred the presidential request to the Committee of the Whole for consideration very soon.
I'm pleased to forward to the Senate the underlisted 7 nominees for confirmation as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are Dr. Nentawe Jiwada, Muhammadu Megari Dingyadi,
Meanwhile, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has lamented the dwindling fortune of the agricultural sector in Nigeria, calling for an effective review of the policy. Speaking in Abuja at the opening of a public hearing on a proposed law for the establishment of Federal University of Agriculture and Tropical Studies, Iragwiji, Osun State, the Senate President reflected on Nigeria's past and lamented the turn of events in agricultural exports. Correspondent Konle reports that Akpabio disclosed that before now, Nigeria was a beacon of agricultural excellence with an enviable title of the world leading producer of essential crops such as palm oil, cocoa, groundnut, which were the very lifeblood of the economy.
The establishment of a specialized institution like this is not just a challenge, it is an opportunity to reclaim our legacy as a global agricultural powerhouse. It is not just a mere dream, it is a necessity for our future. The Federal University of Agriculture and Tropical Studies.
The Senate President called on stakeholders to engage in vital process and bring forth insightful deliberations and dialogue. He prayed that the proposed university, when established, would inspire a renewed spirit of agriculture in Nigeria. Earlier in his opening remarks, Chairman of the committee, Senator Simon Lalong, said the university would serve as a hub for excellence in agricultural research, education and extension services. Senator Lalong said the institution would offer a comprehensive training curriculum that encompassed both theoretical and practical aspects of agricultural services.
It is a great honor and privilege for me to stand before this distinguished assembly today to address you on a very important initiative. The establishment of the Federal University of Agriculture and Tropical Studies, whose host community will be the ancient city of Iragwiji in Osun State, Nigeria.
The House of Representatives has also passed for second reading a bill to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act CAP A12 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. The proposed amendment seeks to establish the National Institute of Rubber Research and Technology in Ilushin, Ogun State, and address related matters. During the debate, Honorable Adigbeson Folorunsho highlighted that the bill aims to create a legal framework for the institute, which will offer full-time and part-time courses in rubber technology. He said the institute will be empowered to award national and higher national diplomas as well as graduate diplomas and degrees.
The establishment of National Institute of Research, Rubber Research and Technology, Lushinogu, Waterside, local government area of Ogun State, is a bold step towards not only addressing the education needs of the people in the area, but also as a training and research ground for agriculturists in the discipline as well, make provision for the general administration of the institute and for related matters. Mr. Speaker, sir, it will interest you to know that Ogun State is one of the 10 top rubber producing states in Nigeria.
The House of Representatives has urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to increase the availability of new 200 naira, 500 naira and 1,000 naira notes and begin gradual withdrawals of the old ones. The lawmakers also called on the CBN to direct commercial banks to distribute more new notes and phase out the old currency. The resolution followed a motion of public importance by Honorable Victor Ogene, who highlighted the difficulties caused by the 2023 currency change, including the scarcity of new notes and subsequent legal issues. He reminded the House that the Supreme Court has ruled that the old notes will no longer be legal tender after December 31, 2024.
In order to make them prepare for the deadline of December 31, 2024. Worried that Nigerians will be plunged into more chaotic situations than what happened in February 2023, when the old 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes shall cease to be legal tender and medium of exchange for goods and services as from January 1, 2025.
The House of Representatives also resolved to establish another committee to investigate employment processes at the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS), Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC), and the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation (NDIC). The aim is to assess compliance with the federal character principles outlined in the 1999 Constitution and report back within 4 weeks. Honorable Ali Issa, raising the motion, highlighted concerns about alleged favoritism and non-compliance in staff recruitment at these agencies in violation of Section 14 of Section 3 of the Constitution.
Concerned that if this allegation of lopsided employment and extra budgetary expenditure are true, the principles of fairness, equity, and transparency are violated, eroded public trust in critical institutions, reduce operational efficiency, and will foster a sense of marginalization and hopelessness among sections of Nigeria.
The Green Chambers also urged the federal government to direct agencies involved in electricity management to halt billings and disconnections for public tertiary institutions under the current tariff system. They further directed the reversal of the system-based tariff for those institutions to either Band C or Band D, following a motion by Honorable Abubakar Fulata.
Concerned that due to inadequate funding by federal government, public institutions are unable to operate optimally. Thus, the recent hike in electricity tariffs and the consequent power cut for defaulting institutions has thrown them into total darkness, putting
Honorable Omar Bill, approach the chair.
At risk and security of students and staff in jeopardy.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) seeks for adjournment of hearing in its new charge against the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahya Bello. Details of that and more coming after the break. Do stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now for more updates and the latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with thoughts on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. GB Foods, a global leader in the culinary industry, has launched its jumbo chicken flavor seasoning cubes in Nigeria, full of flavor and nature. At its launch out alongside its African Culinary Royalty Award, the company rewarded its deserving distributors and sales representatives. Correspondent John Felix completes the story.
With over 50 years of preparations and presence in Africa, the jumbo chicken flavor seasoning cubes makes way into the Nigerian market. Made with carefully selected herbs and native chicken, the seasoning offers a unique taste that sets it apart from competitors. The managing director of Jumbo Foods says Jumbo's recipe has been perfected over decades, reflecting the brand's unwavering commitment to quality.
We designed this with the local native chicken in mind, the sweetest chicken. How you say it in Yoruba? Akoko ibile. No? This is the beginning. And we concentrated the flavor in a way that one cube is very powerful, and yet we put in a lot of natural herbs and spices inside. In all, this is one cube that is both full of flavor and full of nature. So when you use jumbo, you know, I say you ensure that your dish wears your crown. But when you cook with jumbo, every day is Christmas, because every day is special, and that's the essence of jumbo. Just like we do with Party Jollof, just like we do with Bama, now we brought Jumbo. Jumbo is our biggest brand in Africa, our oldest brand, more than 50 years old, and it's taken us 50 years. All over Africa we've gone, we are a leading brand, and now finally coming home to the heart of Africa, to the king of Africa, to the giant of Africa, to Nigeria.
But then, what sets jumbo chicken flavor seasoning cubes apart from other seasonings currently available in the market?
So GB Foods, right, we believe in celebrating local flavors. How? Local manufacturing. What does that mean? Jumbo seasoning cube is manufactured here at Otaburi. We will take our customers later onto the factory to see how it's produced. Local recipes. It is inspired by local recipes we develop locally for our African consumers. And of course, local people. Everybody here, even myself, you know, we're all local Nigerians managing this brand, managing GB Foods.
With the jumbo chicken brand, the company says Nigerians should expect a great taste that will be loved everywhere.
In the process of making this product, our consumers have confidently described this product as being full of flavors, delicious, intense chicken flavors. And at the same time, the product is also full of nature because it is made with finely and carefully selected and sourced herbs and spices. All of these are boldly and clearly declared on our packaging for our consumers.
The company also rewarded its distributors and sales representatives to a diamond, platinum, gold, and emerald awards. One of the awardees expressed delight in the company's set goals for Nigerians.
Our relationship with GB Food can be described as a mutually beneficial one. I've been in business with them for 7 years, and the business relationship has been profitable, and the experience has been amazing with the people, with the quality of product, and everything about GB Food.
From Songota in Ogun State, John Felix reporting for Galaxy Television News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has sought for adjournment of hearing in its new charge against the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, and 2 others to November 14, 2024. At the recent hearing on the matter, counsel to the commission, Rotimi Oyedepo, said the court issued public summons against Bello, directing the same be published and that the charge be pasted. The trial judge, Justice Marian Anine, however, interjected, saying that she did not ask that the charge be pasted, only the summons. Oyedepo said he expected Bello to be in court on November 14, making reference to the 30-day duration of the summons, and therefore sought for adjournment to November 14 for arraignment of the 3 defendants. Joseph Daudu, senior advocate of Nigeria, who appeared for the second defendant, however, objected to this. Justice Marian Anine subsequently adjourned to 14th and 20th November for response of the first defendant to summon and/or arraignment. Stakeholders in the country's energy sector on Thursday opened discussion on the incessant grid disturbances in Nigeria, where they agreed that the ugly trend needs to be looked into for economic growth and development. The public hearing on the incessant grid disturbances was organized by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. Correspondent Kulujo completes the story.
The public hearing, organized by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, was necessitated by the censored collapse of the national grid. The forum, which was attended by relevant stakeholders in the power sector, provided avenue for leadership of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and others to bear their minds on the recent escalating incidents of grid disturbance leading to outage in several states.
Now today we are here again, and the Commission's intention is to truly deep dive towards finding a final solution to what is a very embarrassing moment for the country. I'm sure today, based on what I have said, that we have had this story of the infrastructure is old, is fragile, we have no SCADA, communication problem, low generation, free governor control, all these high-tech stories that we seem to repeat over and over again.
In the case of what happened recently, you have city compounds. I don't think it's a question of whether the spinning reserve was available or not. Was it? You had the previous one, Oshogbo had the fourth. Was it a question of non-availability of spinning reserves? I think it will also be important for us to look at, okay, the last 6 collapses or thereabouts, how many of them could you truly attribute to non-availability of spinning reserves?
Responded to inquiries from the leadership of the Commission, the Executive Director, Independent System Operator, Transmission Company of Nigeria, Nafisat Ali, emphasized the need for regular maintenance and effective coordination to avoid the occurrence of such incidents.
We have not gone to the substation to carry out detailed investigation, and we intend to do that. Check the maintenance plan, check the records, check the logbooks to ensure that nothing is left out. Maintenance. I stressed it, and I also talked about relay coordination. You can't, if you don't do relay coordination, that's,
what is stopping you from doing it?
From doing what? The relay coordination? We actually constituted, but I know they have done analogy. I don't know how much of the notes they have done, but analogy I'm certain. I don't know about the rest.
Other stakeholders in their contributions on the matter stressed the need for all ends to be on the deck in order to prevent needless discussion on age-long issue of grid disturbance.
What beats my imagination is that, yes, SCADA is giving us problems, but what about those things that we can control? You have a vast network, the biggest country, population and otherwise in Africa, and we do not have maintenance management software. It is still manual.
Of the studies you are doing, you are still using mass and material 1992
data for the lines. KG to Jeba is this, Jeba to this is that. Nobody had gone back to check what exactly, whether what Mass and Macron put together were correct or not.
Data and information. Because like I said, if we calculate what the SO has captured as the grid collapse from 2015 to date, and the one the private sector is capturing, is different. If you go to the daily broadcasts, it's possible some of the grid collapse or grid disturbance or grid whatever nomenclature we give it to is not properly captured.
The Commission at the end of the public hearing is expected to come up with appropriate recommendations that will keep all stakeholders on their toe for optimal performance of the national grid for socio-economic development in Nigeria. From Abuja, Kunle Ojo, Galaxy TV.
And still on that, the recent announcement by Electric Distribution Company warning users using Star prepaid meters, which was first deployed over a decade ago, that the meter will cease being operational from November 14 this year, has generated a series of unhealthy concerns. Many believe the move will only increase the financial burden on the people. Galaxy News correspondent Lebi Joseph tells us more in this report.
Among institutions that have shown concern about the plight of consumers in the face of changing Unistar prepaid meters is the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, that says distribution companies should replace Unistar meters without burdening consumers with extra cost of estimated billing.
Anyone into any business has the right to say, this is what I want to sell and this is how I want to go about it. But it is now in the government hand to decide if such business is going out of hand. More importantly, whatever they have to do, whatever policy they have to do, they have to consider the vulnerables.
And they are cheating us and actually showing us that we are cheating you, we are robbing you, as if we don't know what we are doing. How can you tell us that the old meter, when do we started taking the meter? It's just some few years, and we are not telling us that it's obsolete now. Those meters are obsolete, we have to take another one. That's making us look stupid as a nation.
The DISCOs cited technical upgrades and the token identifier rollover issue as reason behind the Unistar exit in the electricity industry. The questions Nigerians are asking is that, should the consumer bear the brunt of the development arisen with the meter, which was brought to the market by the DISCOs and duly paid for by the consumers?
They're just using the vulnerable for business. And all this, they are trying their best to meet up. The fingers are not equal, fine, but we are not considerate enough. So let the government be considerate, look into all those things on behalf of the vulnerable, the masses, to see to it, not just the electricity bill. I've just talked about the cables too. I've talked about education. I've talked about other networks that are here in Nigeria just doing whatever they like. What is the government doing?
We have multiple agencies, doing the same job, collecting the same money for doing the same thing. Why that? I think as a nation, if we need to move forward, we need to curb all these abnormalities.
The prepaid meter was introduced in Nigeria in 2006 to aid revenue collection and generation by Power Holding Company of Nigeria, as well as abolish meter reading and estimated billing. Since its introduction, there are still some challenges being faced by consumers and the power network operators, which requires critical solutions. From Lagos, this is Lebi Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
Nigerians have been advised to always make use of services of licensed electrical personnel and electrical contractors to avoid electrical accidents and other related issues. This advice was given on Thursday by the Honorable Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelapo, in an address delivered at a two-day Electricity Supply Industry Safety Conference 2024 organized by House of Representatives Committee on Safety Standards and Regulation in collaboration with Association for Public Policy Analysis in Abuja. The minister, who was represented at the occasion by Engineer Aliyu Tukuru Tahir, FNSE, the Managing Director, Chief Executive of the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, NEMSA, and Chief Electrical Inspector of the Federation, CEIF, said the advice had become necessary in order to avoid frequent electrical accidents and other associated hazards. According to him, safety is not just a priority, it is a core value, adding that all Nigerians must always put the well-being, colleagues, customers and the community first. The minister maintained that the industry is governed by strict standards and regulations, adding that compliance is not optional but mandatory, just as he emphasized that electricity is very useful to human life and is key to the economic development and growth of any nation. The federal government on Thursday in Abuja inaugurated a committee of high-powered law experts from various fields of review to review, update and consolidate archaic Nigerian laws within 6 months. The law review and update is said to be part of the ongoing effort of President Bola Tinubu to promote the rule of law and access to justice in line with the policy objective of enabling social economic growth and advancing legal reforms. Correspondent Konle Ojo reports that the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi-San, while inaugurating the committee on behalf of the federal government, asked the committee members to be meticulous in the execution of the tasks placed before them.
You are all aware that the general purpose of law is to protect public interest, regulate human behavior or conduct, and interactions between corporate entities. The law is constantly dynamic and evolving, hence there is need for continuous review or reform of our body of laws, that is, the corpus juris, to address contemporary socio-economic developments, resolving conflicts and obsolete provisions with the ultimate aim of improving the administration of justice and promotion of rule of law. As you are
The AGF also charged the committee to work in synergy and exhibit patriotism in the overall interest of the nation and expressed optimism to receiving the report and copies of the draft volumes of Laws of the Federation 2024 in line with the wish of the federal government. The committee, which is chaired by Olawale Fakonda San and co-chaired by the chairman of the Nigerian Law Reform Commission, Professor Jumai Hode, is charged with the following terms of reference.
This committee has been deliberately set up with individuals with vast professional experience and technical expertise in various aspects of justice sector. I realize that there is a lot of work to be done, and I would like to thank you all in advance for accepting the call to serve our dear nation in this capacity.
Now to the stories. Members of the Academic and Non-Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics and the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Polytechnics, Usain chapter in Edo State, have appealed to the Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, to urgently intervene in their welfare issues. This was made known by the union in a joint press briefing held in Benin City, the Edo State capital. Addressing newsmen on behalf of the unions, the chairman Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Usain, expressed displeasure while the new minimum wage have not been implemented in their institution. On his part, the chairman, Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Polytechnic, Usain chapter in the state, said the Polytechnic has not benefited from the reviewed salary.
The Edo State government was the first to approve minimum wage of 70 naira for the workers. Till today, the cost civil servants already enjoyed that upward review of salaries. Even some tertiary institutions in Edo State of the same status with Edo State Polytechnic, funded by Edo State government. For instance, College of Agric, Igorari, College of Health Technology, they have started enjoying this upward review of salaries. Producing, we are still where we are. For the past 1 decade, Edo State polytechnic workers have never benefited from any upward review of salaries.
Or the salary structure we are taking now, salary, is the one approved long ago by Shomole. But after then, there will have been reviewed salary. So Edo State Polytechnic didn't benefit from all the review salary, apart from the first one that Governor Shomole implemented.
Ajara Mohammed, the chairperson of the Kaduna State Independent Electoral Commission, Kadikam, has issued certificate of return to the newly elected chairman in the 23 local government areas of the state, with the charge on them to deliver the dividends of democracy to their people. Mohammed threw the challenge at the presentation of certificate of return to the elected council chairman and the councillors at Kadikam's headquarters in Kaduna. She urged all political parties and their members to give democracy a chance and let the citizens of the state, irrespective of their political party, enjoy the dividends of democracy and allow peace to reign.
Election has been contested across the state in accordance with the Kaduna State Electoral Law 2024. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate those who emerged as winners and remind them that electorate decides who polls to give them mandate to lead, and it is paramount that they live up to expectations. It is important at this point to recognize and appreciate the permanent electoral commissioners, the commission secretary, head of departments and units, our field officers, that is electoral officers and their assistants.
The Defense Headquarters has said the troops of the Nigerian military have neutralized 140 terrorists, arrested 135 others across all theaters of operation in the last 1 week. Director of the Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, who made the disclosure during operational briefing at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja on Thursday, said the troops equally recovered 241 assorted weapons and 3,254 assorted ammunition in the last few months. He added the troops in the Niger Delta region in their operation disrupted the activities of oil thieves, arrested 18 perpetrators, and denied oil theft of the estimated sum of 1,751,886,550 naira only. The director, while assuring the military's commitment to defeat the terrorists on the battlefield, also called on citizens to give military the necessary support to ensure insecurity is eradicated in the country.
Looking at the various theaters of operations, during the week under review, troops neutralized 140 terrorists and arrested 135 of them, thereby destroying their fighting capabilities and weakening their military capabilities as well. The troops also rescued 76 kidnapped hostages, which is indicative of our commitment to guarantee the safety and security of citizens, which we will continue to do more of that.
Now, we move to the international desk for more news.
Hello and welcome to the foreign news. Israel's intensified bombing campaign of Lebanon has caused more damage to buildings in 2 weeks than occurred during a year of cross-border fighting with Hezbollah, according to satellite-based radar data. Data shows that more than 3,600 buildings in Lebanon appear to have been damaged or destroyed between 2 and 14 October 2024. This represents about 45% of the total estimated damage since cross-border hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah broke out just over a year ago. The damage data was gathered by Corey Scare of City University of New York and Jamon van den Hoek of Oregon State University. They compared radar satellite images to reveal sudden changes in the height or structure of buildings, which indicate damage. Wim Zimberg, an environmental expert from the Pax for Peace organization, reviewed the satellite-based radar data and warned of the impact of cross-border hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah broke out after the armed Lebanese group started firing rockets in and around northern Israel in support of Palestinians in 8 October 2023. The day after its allies Hamas' deadly attack on southern Israel, Israel invaded southern Lebanon in a dramatic escalation on 30th September to destroy, it said, Hezbollah weapons and infrastructure in limited localized targeted raids. Satellite photos, radar imagery and military records show recent Israeli bombardments in Lebanon has focused on the southern border region. It has also expanded to central and northern areas, including the Bekaa Valley and Beirut's southern suburbs. Turkey's government says its military has struck sites in Iraq and Syria linked to Kurdish militant group the PKK after blaming it for an attack near Ankara that killed at least 5 people. The Turkish government said the strikes killed 59 people it described as terrorists. A Kurdish-led militia in Syria said 12 civilians died in the north and east of the country. Various videos from the attack earlier showed at least 2 people firing guns around the entrance of Turkish Aerospace Industries TAI, which is located some 40 kilometers outside the capital. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack, in which 22 people were injured. Turkish Defense Ministry initially said that 32 targets belonging to the terrorists were successfully destroyed in the retaliatory attacks before increasing the number of targets destroyed to 47. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called the attack on TAI heinous in an ex-post. The Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya said that 2 attackers, a woman and a man, had been neutralized, adding that the attack had most likely involved the PKK. Authorities in India are evacuating nearly 1.5 million people from the path of an approaching cyclone in the eastern state of Odisha and West Bengal. Thousands of relief workers have been deployed to minimize damage from Cyclone Dana, which is expected to make landfall in the next 24 hours. Transportation services have already been affected, with scores of trains and flights cancelled. India's weather department have said a depression over the Bay of Bengal is expected to turn into a severe cyclonic storm by Thursday evening. The storm is expected to hit the coastal areas with wind speeds of 100 to 120 km per hour. Odisha Chief Minister Mohan Charan said arrangements were in place to ensure the safety of residents in districts along the cyclone path. State officials said they had prepared temporary relief camps with food, water and health facilities. Odisha is evacuating more than 1 million people from 14 districts, while West Bengal is evacuating over 300,000 people from coastal areas. Officials from the 2 states and rescue teams are on alert. Still on foreign news, a tropical storm has dumped 1 month's worth of rains over large swathes of the northern Philippines, leaving more than 20 people dead and forcing 150,000 others to evacuate. Trami made landfall Thursday on the northeast coast of Luzon, the country's most populous island, and caused widespread flooding and landslides. The Bicol Peninsula was worst hit, where floodwaters chased people and their pets to the 2nd story of their homes. Typhoons are common in the Philippines at this time of the year, but Trami's rains were unusually heavy, the state weather bureau told newsmen. People trapped on their roofs posted photos of the ordeal on social media to appeal for rescue, prompting the Coast Guard to deploy rubber boats. The rains also triggered volcanic mudslides or lahar in villages surrounding Mount Mayon, an active volcano in Bicol. Photos show the tires of a car and the front doors of a house partially buried in dark grey mud. The storm, known locally as Christine, had dumped 1 month's worth of rain over 24 hours in Bicol and Aclaran. A forecaster of the state's weather bureau in Manila told newsmen. The rainfall amount also exceeded what the Weather Bureau considers normal over 30 years of observation, she said. Politicians in Ireland have voted to note a final report by a committee on assisted death, which calls on the government to legalize assisted dying in certain restricted circumstances. A total of 76 TDs voted in favor of the report, with 53 TDs voting against it in the Dáil, lower house of the Irish Parliament. The vote will not change the law in the Republic of Ireland. Such legislation would have to be passed by the Oireachtas, that is the Irish Parliament, and then signed by the President. The Special Oireachtas Joint Committee on Assisted Dying published a 96-page report last March, which included 38 recommendations. The recommendations included the establishment of an independent body to oversee all assisted dying applications and increase funding for palliative care. People Before Profits TD Gino Kenny called for the Dáil vote and is an advocate for the recommendations to be implemented. Speaking to newsmen, Kenny said he believes it is inevitable the legislation will be enacted in the next 3 years in Ireland. Tanesti, Deputy Prime Minister, had expressed serious reservations about the recommendation for assisted dying to be legalized in certain restricted circumstances. Independent TD Michael, who is the chair of the Committee on Assisted Dying, was not in favor of the report recommendations. Ellie Ray published a separate report with Fianna Fáil, Robert Troy and Senator Ronan Mullen. And finally, on foreign news, striking Boeing workers have rejected a new offer from the plane-making giant, which included a 35% pay rise over 4 years. The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers Union said 64% of its members voted against the proposed deal. More than 30,000 of Boeing's employees have joined the walkout, which started on 13 September after an initial offer was rejected. Hours earlier, Boeing's boss Kelly Ortberg warned that the company is at a crossroads as losses at the firm surged to roughly $6 billion. Boeing has declined to comment on its latest offer being rejected. It is the second time that the striking workers have rejected a proposal deal in a formal vote. The previous offer was turned down last month by 95% of workers. Earlier, Ortberg, who took over as chief executive in August, said he had been working feverishly to stabilize the firm as it worked to repair its reputation, which has been hit by manufacturing and safety concerns. The latest crisis of Boeing erupted in January with a dramatic mid-air blowout of a piece of one of its passenger plane. Its space business also suffered a reputational hit after a Starliner vessel was forced to return to Earth without carrying astronauts. And that's all we have on the foreign news.
Coming your way next, entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. My name is Rose Blossom Mwe. Here's the full story.
Nollywood actor and movie producer Kunle Afod is marking his 51st birthday today, October 24th, with a self-reflection. Taking to his Instagram page to share new photos of himself, he revealed that the last 1 year has been tough and challenging. He said there had been pain and agony behind his smile and laughter, yet he chose to bring joy and happiness to people. In a message to his creator, he expressed gratitude to him and returned all glory and honor to him. He stated that he used his birthday as a point of contact with God and prayed for comfort. Taken to his comment section, many of his colleagues wished him a happy birthday. Nollywood actress Ramota Adeotu, popularly known as Auntie Ramota, has cried out to Nigerians for help. In a video posted online by philanthropist Agiye Amira, known on Instagram as Isa Amira Food Bank, the movie star revealed that she's currently stranded without accommodation as the lady she was staying with has gotten married and had asked her to leave her because her husband wasn't comfortable. She also claimed that the man who was helping her build a house stopped because of personal issues. and to make things worse for her, her management stole all her money. Ramota revealed that they also deleted her TikTok page and every other social media account. The Yoruba actress noted how she worked so hard, but her management kept cheating her because they thought she wouldn't know how much they were making. Now she doesn't even have enough to rent a place. Nollywood actress Shola Sobowale is currently a celebratory mood as one of her daughter is set to tie the knot. The multi-talented actress took to Instagram to celebrate, citing how excited she was that her daughter had found someone to spend the rest of her life with. She expressed, however, how overwhelmed she is with joy as she noted how she had gained a son who she described as a wonderful, inspiring young man. Netizens and celebrities took to the comments to celebrate with the actress on the milestone her daughter had just achieved. Finally, on entertainment news, controversial Nigerian street singer Habibu Kikiola, popularly known by his stage name Possible, has been allegedly attacked by some area boys. The singer, who has been in the news lately after assaulting a man at Celebration, was allegedly attacked by some area boys who came with guns. According to a report online, the singer was attacked on his way to his office, but luckily for him, his fans and the people in the neighborhood fought for him and helped save his life. Many didn't believe the story as they took to their comment section to slam the singer for clout chasing.
And that'll be all on entertainment news today. Thank you for watching. My name is Rose Blossom Mwe. Bye for now.
And that is all we have for you. We thank you so much for staying with us today. And my name is Iribami Salako. Goodbye.